It's the last day of the cruise. Have you ever said to yourself, I wish it wasn't ending, or I wonder what it'd be like to stay on the ship? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you the back-to-back cruising process, and I'm going to give you 5 reasons and tips to book that back-to-back cruise, along with what to expect on debarkation day. Hi everyone, I'm Tiffany Perry with TP's Travels. So first off, what is a back-to-back cruise? Well, a back-to-back cruise is booking 2 or more consecutive cruises, one right after the other. So usually this is done on the same cruise ship. Now let's get started. 5 reasons why you should book that back-to-back cruise regardless of the cruise line you're choosing. Number 1, back-to-back cruising can save you money. Now I'm not talking about the cruise itself. Tip number 1, if you're going to book a back-to-back cruise, check with your travel agent or also let the cruise line know that you're wanting to book a back-to-back cruise. They might be able to help you out with giving you any kind of special rates or help you take advantage of any kind of deals that are going on at that time. What I'm talking about is taking advantage of money saving with airfare and hotel. If you're wanting to book 2 to 3 cruises, if you're booking them all at once rather than booking them separate and individually, you're going to save so much more money on that airfare and hotel stay. Reason number 2, you'll have more time to explore the ship. Let's face it, even if you're booking a 7 or 8 day cruise, there's a lot to see and do on a cruise ship. You might feel like you don't have enough time to see everything. You might feel a little stressed to see all the shows and do all that different activities that the cruise ship has to offer. Booking a back-to-back cruise just gives you that time and that extra relaxation so that you can just take it all in as you choose and when you want to do it and see a show when you have the time. Just giving you more time to just really truly live the dream. I will say, when I did my back-to-back cruise on the Carnival Liberty, when we did our back-to-back, we got almost an hour on the ship before the new people came on the second week. I'll share that with you in the end of the video here. But tip for you, take advantage of that back-to-back cruising. Regardless if you're the only one on the ship or there's fewer people on the ship, you will get back on that ship first before everybody else comes on. So take advantage of being on that ship with fewer people. Just get a chance to really kind of explore and see things that you couldn't actually see with so many people on the ship before. Reason number 3, you have the opportunity for a new itinerary. For instance, one week you could book a Western Caribbean cruise and the second week you could book an Eastern Caribbean cruise. Now there are a lot of places to see in just the Caribbean alone. So if you happen to book a Eastern Caribbean cruise 2 weeks in a row, chances are you're going to have different ports on those cruises. Now, is it a bad thing if you get the same itinerary 2 weeks in a row? Absolutely not. But sometimes this does happen because some ships do offer the same itinerary in back-to-back weeks. So if you don't have the flexibility to change around your travel days, you might end up with the same cruise itinerary both weeks. But this is not a bad thing. What can you do if you have the same itinerary 2 or 3 weeks in a row? Well, tip 1, you're going to save money on excursions. So let's say the first week you go out and you do an excursion, but the next week you have that same port. Go and explore the port area and explore it without an excursion. There's always something that you can do and something that you can take a look at without an excursion. Tip number 2, explore a new place to eat. Find a new restaurant, a new eatery, a new place that you could go and dine. And tip number 3, stay on the boat. Many avid cruisers will tell you they love the opportunity to stay on the boat, especially if they've been to that port once before. There are a lot of things that you can still do on the boat. Now, if you're on the boat on port day, places like the casino, shops, some of the restaurants will still be closed. But sometimes they do offer trivia. There will be a bar open by the pool, and you do still have different food options available while at the port. But if you're staying on the boat, it's really a nice time to just sit, relax, and once again, take it all in as you choose and just live the dream. Reason number 4, you only have to unpack once. And that's a great part about back-to-back cruising. Now this is if you are able to book the same cabin back-to-back. So a couple of tips there. Tip 1, let your steward know that you are doing a back-to-back cruise, regardless if you're staying in the same room or if you're having to switch rooms. If you're having to switch rooms, your steward will take your luggage to your next room for you. You don't have to worry about that. You can leave them in the room. Tip 2, if you are wanting to book the same room, let them know when you are booking to see if they can accommodate that. And tip 3, I recommend booking as early as you can if you're hoping to get the same room 2 weeks in a row. I usually book my back-to-back cruises with casino rewards, so I don't always book really early, so I don't always get the same room. So I'm usually packing up and heading to different rooms around the ship. But hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You get a chance to see different parts of the ship and you get a new steward. And tip number 5, earn cruise loyalty points. Doing back-to-back cruising, you can really rack up those cruise points. Now, every cruise line has their own loyalty program, so check with your cruise line to see what their loyalty program looks like. So for instance, when we did the Carnival Liberty back-to-back cruising, we went from red to gold while we were on the back-to-back cruising. So that was a lot of fun. So doing your back-to-back cruising can really help you to rack up those cruise points so that you get a little bit more into your loyalty reward program. Let's take a look at what to expect on debarkation day, which is actually your turnaround day when doing a back-to-back cruise. So here I'm going to share with you my turnaround day experience on the Carnival Liberty. So the day before, they will send you a letter, usually either in your mailbox or they'll leave it in your stateroom. The letter usually states the directions and everything, and instructions and everything going on the next day for debarkation day. They told us to leave our luggage in our room, and like I said before, your steward will come and get your luggage and take it to your next room for you. That's another reason why it's a good idea to always make sure that your steward is aware that you are doing a back-to-back cruise. Everybody will generally come together in one central location. When we were on the Liberty, we all went to the theater, and when we were on the Celebration, we all went to one of their restaurants. So they will let you know that in the instructions where they want everybody to meet. I did notice that when I was on the smaller ship, the Liberty, there was very few people doing the turnaround and the back-to-back cruising, but when I was on the Celebration, there was more than 200 people. So bigger ships, you're going to tend to have more people doing the back-to-back cruising than you will on the smaller ships. Now, after we sat there in the theater and waited, they came to us and they issued us our new card. They brought our new card to us, so we don't have to go to the desk or anything like that. We get our new cards right away. Now, they did tell us we had to sit there and wait until everybody was off the ship. This can take anywhere from just a few minutes to one time we were sitting there for almost an hour and a half. So it just depends on how long it takes to get everybody off the ship. Once everybody is off the ship, Carnival has somebody escort you off. You basically are just walking right off and then walking through the terminal. Make sure you have your passport with you. You will have to show your passport. And then as you walk in through the terminal, you're walking right back on. So you just walk off, show your passport, and then you're walking right back on the ship. You are walking right back on right before anybody else comes on. Now, that, like I said, it depends on how long it took everybody to get off the ship. So if it didn't take long at all, one of the times it didn't take us long at all, and we were back on the ship for about an hour before they started letting new passengers come on the ship. So that's why I said, make sure you take advantage of being on the ship with nobody or very few people on the ship. And one of the first places that everybody goes to is usually to the buffet and the restaurants and places to eat. So those places get crowded right away. So take advantage of kind of looking around those places or anywhere else when there's fewer people. Now, when we came back on the ship, Carnival loves to treat their back-to-back cruisers, so we were greeted with a mimosa. They will take your picture and send you a free picture to your stateroom. Liberty took our picture there for us, and then Celebration, since there was over 200 people, they just gave us a voucher to go and get our picture taken at our own time. They also, on the Celebration, they just gave us a free drink voucher to get our drink whenever we wanted to on our own time as well, instead of pouring 200 mimosas for everybody. And then after that, that is it. We did receive a bowl of fruit, and a bottle of champagne later that afternoon in our room, and that was both on the Liberty and the Celebration. So those are the only 2 back-to-back cruises I've done so far. I will be doing another back-to-back cruise coming up here real soon when I'm going to Alaska. I will be on the Luminoso for 4 back-to-back cruises for over a month. So I will share with you my experience coming up here real soon. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more cruising fun and information coming up. I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, or if you have done a back-to-back cruise in the past or got one coming up, please leave me a comment. I would love to hear about your experiences or any questions that you may have. If this was helpful for you, please give me a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye for now.